Welcome back on your Wednesday morning to Good Morning Twin Tiers. It is officially October 1st. We are joined by David Goulier. Thank you for waking up bright and early with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me in.
Yes, thank you. And we know that there's some big things coming up in the Twin Tiers, especially something that's ending in Corning's Gaffer District, but starts all the way in Bath and even in other places. Tell me about the Wineglass Marathon returning in T-minus 5 days.
T-minus 5. Yeah, it's the 44th year for the Wineglass Marathon. Started in '81. There are over 6,500 runners coming, so it's a record number. They're coming from 48 states, so pretty much everywhere except Idaho and Arkansas. We got to work on those two.
Okay.
But they're also coming from 14 different countries, so as far away as Brazil, Norway, China, Vietnam, Spain. I mean, Canada. It's pretty awesome.
You're kidding. I did not know that people came from out of the U.S. for this.
Yeah, it's a big draw for international countries, and a lot of them come in groups, and they just have a great time. They come for the several days and really enjoy the small town vibe that they get here.
Right, and so there's a 5K that's Saturday. That's still open for registration, correct?
Yeah, you can still. There's no day of registration, so if you want to run in it, you need to do it before Saturday. So you need to do it by the end of Friday. Yeah.
And obviously, the half marathon and full marathon are completely full. But let's talk about where they start, because they obviously start in different points to exceed their mileage. Where does each start?
So the half starts in Campbell, basically, and it starts around 7:45 in the morning. They kick off first, and then at 8:15 out in Bath, the full marathon starts. So the runners are kind of staggered until they get to the finish line because of the varying speeds and stuff like that they run. But yeah, it's pretty much a beautiful run through the countryside, through some of the back roads, and just a really fun event that covers a lot of little towns.
Yeah, and obviously those major roads will be closed, or traffic will be redirected. So question for you about whether it's your first or your 80th marathon, or half marathon, or 5K, whatever you want to say. What can you expect along the way? Is there going to be water stops, bathroom breaks? This isn't like, you don't have to go full throttle for the 26 or the 13, correct?
Depends on your intention, I guess. Of course. And your capabilities, really. There are going to be porta potties along the way. There are definitely going to be a lot of water stations. It's going to be beautiful for the spectators this weekend, but a little warm for the runners. So, there'll probably be some extra, conditions taken into effect for that, especially more water. But yeah, people cheering you on the whole way. I will say, if you're local and you're not running, if you haven't been, you should go to the finish line, because it's just the energy there. Bart Yasso is there at the emceeing the finish line. He calls out every name just about. I mean, so it's like 6,500 names he's going to be calling out to cheer people on, and they get, even the last people who come through, he's still there calling out their names, hours later. So it's pretty exciting. That's
amazing. And what do you say is the community response? Would you say this is a big tourism event? Because obviously the Twin Tiers is very big during the summer and during specific times of the year. Yeah. Would you say that this draws in a significant crowd, especially the beautiful Corning's Gaffer District, especially, as we come upon Halloween, Thanksgiving, all the holidays where Corning does get lit up literally for all the beautiful, joyous fun?
Yeah, I think, it's definitely a draw for Corning in particular, because that's where the finish line is. That's where some of the expo this Friday, which is open to the public, by the way, from 11 to 7 at the Corning Museum of Glass. It's in Corning. So it definitely is a big draw. You figure if there's 6,500 runners, a lot of them are coming with family and friends. So they're bringing more than that amount to the region. And because it's the Wineglass Marathon, a lot of them like to go exploring before and after, usually after, but they go to the wineries, they'll go visit Watkins Glen and the parks and the lakes and stuff like that. So it's really a big draw, not just for the Corning area, but for the region itself. And they stay in hotels here in Chemung County, Steuben County, Schuyler County. I mean, they occupy a lot of places, yeah.
Wonderful. And my final question to you is, when you cross that finish line, what can runners expect? Is there going to be snacks? Is there going to be food? Is there going to be, what can they expect when they finally get there and they did it? They can raise their arms above their head, they completed it.
Elation, right? I mean, and then, so as soon as they're done, there's food. So there's food tents, there's pizza and, other things to kind of, there's things to rehydrate, there's nourishment, there's also medical tents if they have cramping or if they're not feeling well. So there's a little bit of everything that they need right immediately after the finish line. First thing they're going to get, though, is congratulated, and they're going to get a medal.
Of course.
So a glass medal that, it's different every year. So that's probably one of the highlights for most people is getting that medal. There's a little bell they can ring. If they have a personal record, they can go down and ring the personal record, get a photo taken. It's really fun.
Amazing. This all sounds wonderful. Anything else we should know about the big annual event just days away?
Well, I think the other thing is, the guest is a 3-time Olympian. She won the bronze medal in 2016 in Brazil, actually, in Rio de Janeiro, Jenny Simpson. So she's going to be there this week. So that'll be a lot of fun. I think she'll probably be at the expo, but, she'll be there throughout the weekend. And I think that's the big thing. Again, if you aren't running, go and give support. It is a great draw for the region.
Awesome. Well, it's a great time to get laced up, to cheer on the community, to run if that's your thing, to speed walk if that's your thing, to try something new like a 5K. All great opportunities and a nice way to really welcome in fall. Dave, thank you for waking up early with us. And again, the Wineglass Marathon is this Sunday, October 5th. The 5K is Saturday the 4th, and that expo that we just talked about is Friday the 3rd. We'll have all this info and more on WENY.com shortly after our show. We'll send you to break right now. We'll be back in just a few moments.